Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kante Radha Kante Namostude Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Che Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Lo Shri Radhe Golokananda Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Lo Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Nisha.
Krishna.
I think Tarun is outside actually. And Anilji is in India. So, anyways, we'll get started. So, last week, हम लोगों ने 12th अध्याय कंप्लीट किया. Sorry, yesterday, not last week. कल हमने 12th अध्याय कंप्लीट किया. उसमें अधासुर को कैसे भगवान वध करते हैं वो दिखाया गया. सो अधासुर अजगर के रूप में आता है और सारे ग्वाल और गायें सारे अजगर के मुंह के अंदर चली जाती है और फिर भगवान कृष्ण भी जाते हैं. एंड देन हाउ he kills Adasur and comes out of Adasur's mouth. And then we also saw that how, because Bhagwan Krishna entered him, he gets a moksha, he gets a mukti, which is a Sarupya Mukti. And Sarupya Mukti is, he gets the same shape as of Lord Narayan, right? Like Chaturbhuj with all the exactly the same shape. And so then, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukdev Goswami ji to continuously recite the childhood Leela of Lord Shri Krishna. And that's what we are continue to read. Right? So let's start, Ajay.
Shri Shuk Uach Sadhu Prishtam Mahabhag Tvaya Bhagvatottam Yag Tanshis Shrinvannapi Katha Mihuha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O best of devotees, most fortunate Parikshit, you have inquired very nicely, for although constantly hearing the pastimes of Lord, you are perceiving his activities to be newer and newer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so first of all, Sukdev Goswami is addressing Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah. And he's saying these are the most fortunate. Mahabhag. Sadhu Prishtam Mahabhag. He is the most fortunate. Bhagavato Uttam. Right? Best of the devotees. Why? Because he's inquiring about all this Leela and he has been constantly hearing, right? But every time he's hearing, he's finding those activities newer and newer. Yeah. So that's why Sukdev Goswami is calling him Mahabhagvat. And nice purport. Let's read it, Nisha.
Unless one is very advanced in Krishna consciousness, one cannot stick to hearing the pastimes of Lord constantly. Nityah Navaya Manam. Even though advanced devotees hear continually about the Lord for years, they still feel that these topics are coming to them as newer and fresher. Therefore, such devotees cannot give up hearing of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Premanjana Chahurita Bhakti Vilochana Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. The word Santaha is used to refer of persons who have developed love for Krishna. Yama Shamasundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5.38. Parikshit Maharaj therefore is addressed as Bhagavottama, the best of devotees, because unless one is very much elevated in devotional service, one cannot feel ecstasy from hearing more and more and appreciate these topics as ever fresher and newer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is being mentioned here is the characteristics of the senior devotees, the people who are very advanced in Krishna consciousness. Even though they keep hearing the Bhagwan Katha continuously for so many years, every time they hear, they feel like Nityam Nav Navayam Manam. Yeah, every time in the month, they feel those are newer and fresher, and they cannot give up hearing of the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah, that's the characteristic of the advanced devotees. Those are the devotees which are very elevated in devotional service. So one cannot feel ecstasy from hearing more and more and more, yeah, of the Bhagwan Katha. Satamayam sarabhritam nisargo yad artavani shruti chet samapi pratikshanam navyavadachyutashayate istriya vitanami sadhurvarta. Paramhans, devotees who have accepted the essence of life, are attached to Krishna in the core of their hearts, and He is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only of Krishna at every moment, as if such topics were newer and newer. They are attached to such topics just as materialistics are attached to topics of women and sex. Yeah. So the sadhus are constantly attached to, like it also says, this is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For the Paramhans, Krishna is everything. Yeah. Ajay?
शृणुष्वावहितो राजन्नपि गृहं वदामि ते ब्रूयः स्निग्धस्य शिष्यस्य गुरवो गुरुमप्युत. O king, kindly hear me with great attention. Although the activities of Supreme Lord are very confidential, no ordinary man being able to understand them, I shall speak about them to you. For spiritual masters explain to a submissive disciple even subject matters that are very confidential and difficult to understand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Sukdev Goswami continuously telling Parikshit Maharaj all this katha. Nisha?
तथा घव वदनान् मृत्यो रक्षित्वा वत्स पालकान् सरित्पुलिनमानीय भगवानिदमब्रवीत्. Then after saving the boys and calves from the mouth of Aghasur, who was death personified, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, brought them all to the bank of river and spoke the following words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Aghasur was the Rakshas, right? So from his mouth he became like Ajgar. Then from his mouth he pulled out all the quals and all the calves, yeah, boys and calves, and then Krishna brings them to river Tat. Yeah. Aho atirimyam pulinam vayashah swakeli sampanna mridulache balukam स्फुटतसरो गन्धरितालीपत्रिके ध्वनि प्रतिध्वानले सदद्रु माकुलम. My dear friends, just see how this river bank is extremely beautiful because of its pleasing atmosphere. And just see how the blooming lotuses are attracting bees and birds by their aroma. The humming and chirping of the bees and birds is echoing throughout the beautiful trees in the forest. Also, here the sands are clean and soft. Therefore, this must be considered the best place for our sporting and pastimes. Yeah, Ajay?
अत्र भोक्त व्यमस्माभिर्द्वारुणं क्षुधार्थिता वत्सा समीपेपः पीत्वा चरन्तु शनकैस्तृणम्. I think we should take our lunch here since we are already hungry because the time is very late. Here is the calves. Here the cows may drink water and go slowly here and there and eat the grass. Hare Krishna.
Nisha.
तथेति पाययित्वार्भा वत्सानारुध्य शाद्वले मुक्ता शिक्यानि बुभुजः समं भगवता मुदा. Accepting Lord Krishna's proposal, the cowherd boys allowed the calves to drink water from the river and they tied them to trees where there are green tender grass. Then the boys opened their baskets of food and began eating with Krishna is a great transcendental pleasure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishnasya Vishwapururajimandile Rambhyananaha Fulladrisho Vrajarbhaka Sahopavishta Vipine Vireju Shchadayatambaroru Hakarnikaya. Like the wall of a lotus flower surrounded by its petals and leaves, Krishna sat in the center, encircled by lines of his friends, who all looked very beautiful. Every one of them was trying to look forward toward Krishna, thinking that Krishna might look forward towards him. In this way, they all enjoyed their lunch in the forest. What, Ajay?
To a pure devotee, Krishna is always visible as stated in the Brahma Samhita. Santah Sadaiv Hrideshu Vilokyanti. And as indicated by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvatah Panipadam Tat Sarvato Shisiro Mukham. If by accumulating pious activities, Krita Punya Panja, one is raised to the platform of pure devotional service. Krishna is always visible in the core of one's heart. One who has attained such perfection is all beautiful in transcendental bliss. The present Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to keep Krishna in the center. For if this is done, all activities will automatically become beautiful and blissful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha.
केचिद् पुष्पैर्दलैः केचित् पल्लवैर्रुङ्गैः फलैः शिग्भिस्त्वग्भिर्दृश्च बुभुजः कृतभाजनाः. Among the cowherd boys, some place their lunch on flowers, some on leaves, fruits, and bunches of leaves. Some actually in their baskets, some on the bank of trees, and some on rocks. This is what the children imagine to be their plates as they ate their lunch. Hare Krishna.
Sarvimito darshyantaha swe swe bhojyaruchim pritaka asanto hasayantascha abhe vajahu saheshwara. All the cowherd boys enjoyed their lunch with Krishna showing one another the different tastes of the different varieties of preparations they had brought from home. Tasting one another's preparations, they began to laugh and make one another laugh. Yeah. Ajay?
Vibhrat Venu Jat Jathar Patayo Shrangavetre Chakakshe Vame Pano Masrin Kavalam Tatfalanyangulishu Tishtan Madhe Swapari Suhrido Hasyan Narmabhi Sway Swarge Loke Mishati Bujbhe Yajbhug Yagya Bhug Bal Kelih. Krishna is Yagna Bhuk, that is, he eats only offering of Yagna. But to exhibit his childhood pastime, he now sat with his flute tucked between his waist and his tight cloth on his right side, and his horn bulge and cow driving stick on his left, holding in his hand a very nice preparation of yogurt and rice with pieces of suitable fruits between his fingers. He sat like the whole of a lotus flower, looking forward towards all his friends, personally joking with them and creating jubilant laughter among them as he ate. At that time, the denizens of heavens were watching, struck with wonder at how the personality of Godhead, who eats only in yajna, was now eating with his friend in the forest. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So how Lord Krishna says Yagna Bhuk, like everything we offer in the Yagya. Yeah. That's what Yagya Bhug is, what is offered to Lord Narayan. But here we see in the form of Lord Shri Krishna, right there, he is eating rice and yogurt by his hand. And that, who is looking at that? The denizens of heaven are watching and struck with wonder. Right? From Swarglok. Isha?
भारतैवं वत्सपेषु भुञ्जानैष्व अच्युतात्मसु वत्सास्त्वन्तर्वने दूरं विविशुस्तृणलोभिताः. O Maharaj Parikshit, while the cowherd boys, who knew nothing within the core of their hearts but Krishna, were thus engaged in eating their lunch in the forest, the calves went far away, deep into the forest, being allured by green grass. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So while all the Gwals were eating the lunch together, the cows, right, they went far, far away looking for the green grass. तान् दृष्ट्वा भयसन्त्र शस्तानुचे कृष्णोऽस्य भीभयम् मित्राण्याशान्माविरमम् अतेहानेश्य वत्स्कानहम्. When Krishna saw that his friends, the cowherd boys, were frightened, he, the fear's controller, even of fear itself, said just to mitigate their fear, my dear friends, do not stop eating. I shall bring your cows back to the spot by personally going after them myself. So he advises all the Gwals to keep eating, and then he said he will go and bring all the cows back. Again, a nice purport. Let's read this, Ajay.
In the presence of Krishna's friendship, a devotee cannot have any fear. Krishna is the supreme controller, the controller of even death, which is supposed to be the ultimate fear in the material world. Bhayam dvitya biniletrasaha. The fear arises because of lack of Krishna consciousness, otherwise there cannot be any fear. For one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, this material world of fear becomes hardly dangerous at all. Bhavam budhir vats padam param padam 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 yad vipudam na tesam. Bhavam Buddhi, the material ocean of fear, becomes very easy to cross by the mercy of Supreme Controller. This material world in which there is a fear and danger at every step, Padam Padam Yad Vipadam, is not meant for those who have taken shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. Such persons are delivered from the fearful world. Samasrita ye pad plavam mahat padam punya yaso murare bhavam budhir vatsa padam param padam yad vipadam natesam. Bhagavad 10.14.58. Everyone therefore should take shelter of Supreme Person who is a source of fearlessness and thus be secure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha.
Itya Uttradridari Kunjagayareshvat Mavatsakan Vichinvan Bhagwan Krishna Samani Kavaloye. Let me go and search for the calves, Krishna said. Don't disturb your enjoyment. Then, carrying his yogurt and rice in his hand, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna immediately went out to search for the calves of his friends. To please his friends, he began searching in all the mountains, mountain caves, bushes, and narrow passages. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So while all the Gwals are eating their lunch, Krishna goes behind the cows to find them out and bring them back. Ajay?
The Vedas, Svatara Upanishad 6.8, assert that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to do personally. No tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Because he is doing everything through his energies and potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhav Shuyate. Nonetheless, here we see that he took personal care to find the calves of his friends. This was Krishna's causeless mercy. Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Charcharam. All the affairs of the entire world and the entire cosmic manifestations are working under his direction, through his different energies. Still, when there is a need to take care of his friends, he does this personally. Krishna assured his friends, don't be afraid, I am going personally to search for your calves. This was Krishna's causeless mercy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and we know that in Gita, we have read this shlok, right? Maya dakshena prakritire suyate sa characharam. Yani ki maya dakshata. Maya daksha. In my lookout, right? All the affairs of the entire world and the entire cosmic manifestation are working under his direction. Maya dakshena. Yeah, is what Lord Shri Krishna is saying. Nisha?
Ambo Janma Janistadintaro Ragato Mayarbhakase Shitur Drashtum Majju Mahitva Manyadapi Tadvat Sanito Vatsapan Nitwan Yatra Purudvahantara Dadhat Kheva Stito Yah Pura Tishtavaghasuramokshanam Prabhavatah Praptah Param Vismayam. O Maharaj Parikshit, Brahma, who resides in the higher planetary system in the sky, had observed the activities of the most powerful Krishna is killing and delivering Aghasur, and he was astonished. Now the same Brahma wanted to show some of his own power and see the power of Krishna, who was engaged in his childhood pastimes, playing as if with ordinary cowherd boys. Therefore, in Krishna's absence, Brahma took all the boys and calves to another place. Thus, he became entangled, for in very near future, he would see how powerful Krishna was. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, of course, Lord Krishna delivered Aghasur by killing him. And by seeing all this, Lord Brahma was also wanted to see, like, that's too powerful, right? So Brahma wanted to show some of his own power. So what Lord Brahma does is, he takes all the boys and cows to another place. Yeah, because Lord Krishna has gone behind the cows and the boys are already there. So taking the opportunity of that, what Lord Brahma does, he gets the boys and the cows and takes them to different place. Yeah. Nice purport. Let's read. Okay.
When Aghasur was being killed by Krishna, who was accompanied by his associates, Brahma was astonished. But when he saw that Krishna was very much enjoying his pastime of lunch, he was even more astonished and wanted to test whether Krishna was actually there. Thus he became entangled in Krishna's Maya. After all, Brahma was born materially. As mentioned here, Ambujamma Jani, he was born of Ambuja, a lotus flower. It does not matter that he was born of a lotus and not of any man, animal, or material father. A lotus is also material, and anyone born through the material energy must be subject to the four material deficiencies. Brahm, the tendency to commit mistakes. Pramada, the tendency to be illusioned. Vipralipsa, the tendency to cheat. And Karan Patava, imperfect senses. Thus Brahma also became entangled. Brahma, with his Maya, wanted to test whether Krishna was actually present. These cowherd boys were but expansions of Krishna's personal self. Anand Chinmay Ras Pratibhavitabhi. Later, Krishna would show Brahma how he expands himself into everything as his personal pleasure. Anand Chinmay Ras Hiyadini Sakir Asmat. Krishna has a transcendental potency called Hladini Sakti. He does not enjoy anything that is a product of the material energy. Brahma therefore would see Lord Krishna expand his energy. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Brahma wanted to take away Krishna's associates, but instead he took away some other boys and cows. Ravan wanted to take away Sita, but that was impossible, and instead he took away a Maya Sita. Similarly, Brahma took away Maya Bhakta, boys manifested by Krishna's Maya. Brahma could show some extraordinary opulence to the Maya Bhakta, but he could not show an extraordinary potency to Krishna's associates. That he would see in the very near future. Maya Bhaktasya Ishitaha. This bewilderment, this Maya, was caused by the Supreme Controller, Prabhavataha, to the all-potent Supreme Person, Krishna, and we shall see the result. Anyone materially born in subject of bewilderment, this pastime is therefore called Brahma Vimohana Lila, the pastime of bewildering Brahma. Mohitam Nabhi Janati Mama Edayah Param Avyam. Bhagavat 7.13. Materially born persons cannot fully understand Krishna. Even the demigods cannot understand him. Muhyanti yata suryah. Tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye. Bhagavad 1.1.1. Everyone from Brahma down to the small insect must take lessons from Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. ततो वत्सान दृष्टे वेत्ते पुलिने अपि च वत्सपान् उभावपि वने कृष्णो विचिकाय समन्तत. Thereafter, when Krishna was unable to find the calves, he returned to the bank of the river. But there he was also unable to see the cowherd boys. Thus he began to search for both the calves and the boys, as if he could not understand what had happened. Yeah. So Lord Krishna doesn't find the calves, and then he comes back and he doesn't find the gwals also. Right? So he's just pretending like he needs to search. Right? As if he doesn't understand what's going on, right? Is what is mentioned. Saying here, Krishna could immediately understand that Brahma had taken away both the calves and the boys. But as an innocent child, he researched there. And there, so that Brahma could not understand Krishna's Maya. This was all a dramatic performance. A player knows everything, but still he plays on the stage in such a way that others don't understand him. Ajay?
क्वाप्य दृष्टवान् विपन्ने वत्सान वत्साम्पलांश्च विश्ववित् सर्व विधिकृतं कृष्णः सहसावजगामः. When Krishna was unable to find the calves and their caretakers, the cowherd boys, anywhere in the forest, he could suddenly understand that this was the work of Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Sure.
ततः कृष्णो मुदं कर्तुं तन्मातॄणां च कस्य च उभयायितमा आत्मानं चक्रे विश्वकृदीश्वरः. Thereafter, just to create pleasure both for Brahma and for the mothers of the calves and cowherd boys, Krishna, the creator of the entire cosmic manifestation, expanded himself as calves and boys. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so the cows and boys and the calves were not found. Lord Brahma took them away, right? So Lord Krishna himself expanded as calves and boys. Yeah, says here he's the Vishwakrit Ishvara, right? He's the Ishwar. He's the creator of the entire cosmic manifestation. What did he do? Ubhay ayitma atmanam. Yeah, like he expanded himself as cows and boys. Yes. Ajay?
Yeah. Although Brahma was already entangled in bewilderment, he wanted to show his power to the cowherd boys. But after he took away the boys and their calves and returned to his abode, Krishna created further astonishment for Brahma and for mother of the boys by establishing the lunch pastimes in forest again and replacing all the calves and boys, just as they had appeared before. According to Vedas, Ekam Bahu Syam, the personality of Godhead can become many, many millions upon millions of calves and cowherd boys as he did to bewilder Brahma more and more. Hare Krishna.
Hare यावद्वत्स पवत्सकाल्प कवपुर्यावत्कराङ्घ्रादिकम् यावद् यष्टिविशानवेणुदर्शिः यावद् विभूषाम्बरम् यावच्छिलगुणाभिधाकृतिवयो यावद्विहारादिकम् सर्वविष्णुमयं गिरो अङ्गवदजः सर्वस्वरूपो भवो. By his Vasudev feature, Krishna simultaneously expanded himself in the exact number of missing coward boys and calves, with their exact bodily features, their particular type of hands, legs, and other limbs, their sticks, bugles, and flutes, their lunch bags, their particular type of dress and ornaments, placed in various ways, their names, ages, and forms, and their special activities and characteristics. By expanding himself in this way, beautiful Krishna proved the statement Samagra Jagat Vishnu Mayam. Lord Vishnu is all pervading. So that's how Lord Shri Krishna expands himself. Sarva Vishnu Mayam. Yeah, Sarva Swarupo Babo. So he expands into the calves and all the gods. Can a nice purport read this, Nisha?
As stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.33, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yavanam Cha. Krishna Param Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Adyam, the beginning of everything, is Adi Purusham, the ever youthful original person. He can expand himself in more forms than one can imagine, yet he does not fall down from his original form of Krishna. Therefore, he is called Achyuta. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma. Krishna thus proved that he is everything, that he can become everything, but that still he is personally different from everything. Matash sthani sarva bhutani na chaham tesva avastitah. This is Krishna who is understood by Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva philosophy. Puranasya Puram Adya Puram Eva Vishyate. Krishna is always complete, and although he can create millions of universes, all of them full in all opulences, he remains as opulent as ever without any change, Advaitam. This is explained by different Vaishnava acharyas through the philosophies such as Vishnu Daivata, Vishishta Daivata, and Dvaita Daivita. Therefore, one must learn about Krishna from the acharyas. Acharyan Purusho Veda, one who follows the path of acharyas, knows things as they are. Such a person can know Krishna as he is, at least to some extent, and as soon as one understands Krishna, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah. One is liberated from material bondage. Tattva deham punarjanma naiti mama iti so Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, if one follows the path of acharyas, then what is mentioned is one is liberated from material bondage. Tyakta deham punar janma neti mam iti so Arjuna. Like he will come back to me, he will not take a next birth, right? Is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna. Ajay?
स्वयमात्मा में गोवत्सान प्रतिवार्धायत्यम वत्सपै क्रीडना त्वविहारश्च sarvatma pravishad brajam. Now expanding himself so as to appear as all the calves and cowherd boys, all of them as they were, and at the same time appear as their leaders, Krishna entered Vrajbhumi, the land of his father Nanda Maharaj, just as he usually did while enjoying their company. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what happens is Krishna himself becomes all the so many gwals and all the cows, because all those are taken away by Lord Brahma. So he himself becomes like that. He expands like that, and then he comes back to Rajbhumi. Yeah. Nisha?
तत्तदवत्सन पृथन्विता तत्तद्रोष्टे निवेश्यसः तदत्मात्मा भवद राजस्तस्संज्ञ प्रविष्टवान्. O Maharaj Parikshit, Krishna, who had divided himself as different cows and also as different cowherd boys, entered different cow shades as the cows and the different homes as different boys. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then he comes back to Rajbhumi, and of course all the gwals and everyone lives at different homes. So he enters into all these different homes in his expanded form. Right? Hare Krishna, Prem sir.
Hare Krishna, Virendra Bhai. Tanmatro Venu Rava Tva Rothita Uttapa Dorbhi Parirabhya Nirbharam Sne Snutasnapya Sudha Savam Matva Param Brahm Sutan Payan. The mothers of the boys, upon hearing the sounds of the flutes and bugles, began playing by their sons. Immediately rose from their household tasks, lifted their boys onto their laps, embraced them with both arms, and began to feed them with their breast milk, which flowed forth because of extreme love, especially for Krishna. Actually, Krishna is everything, but at that time, expressing extreme love and affection, they took special pleasure in feeding Krishna, the Parabrahman, and Krishna drank the milk from his respective mothers as if it were a nectarian beverage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tato niponamardhan majjalepana Lankaraksha tilkashanadhibi Sanlalita svacharite praharshashiyana Sayam gato yam yamena madhava. Thereafter, O Maharaj Parikshit, as required according to the scheduled round of his pastimes, Krishna returned in the evening, entered the house of each of the cowherd boys, and engaged exactly like the former boys, thus enlivening their mothers with transcendental pleasure. The mothers took care of the boys by massaging them with oil, bathing them, smearing their bodies with sandalwood pulp, decorating them with ornaments, chanting protective mantras, decorating their bodies with tilak, and giving them food. In this way, the mothers served Krishna personally. Right? So by this Leela, what we are seeing is all these mothers and gwals and they are serving Krishna personally. They got an opportunity to serve Krishna directly, personally, as Krishna took form of all the gwals and and cows. Yeah. Ajay? Rajay, unmute.
Sorry. Gavastato Gosht Mupetya Satvaram Hridan Ghoshay Parihut Sangatan Swakan Vatsatran Payan Muhalli Hanya Savadodhasya Dhasampaya. Thereafter, all the cows entered their different sheds and began mooing loudly, calling for their respective calves. When the calves arrived, the mother began licking the cows' bodies again and again and profusely feeding them with the milk flowing from their milk bags. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
Gopinam matru matrutasminasit snehardikam vina purovadasvapi harestokata mayaya vina. Previously, from very beginning, the gopis had motherly affection for Krishna. Indeed, their affection for Krishna exceeded even their affection for their own sons. In displaying their affection, they had thus distinguished between Krishna and their sons, but now that this distinction disappeared. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prem?
Rajo kasam swakto keshu snehvalyad manvaham sananir seem vabridhe yatha krishna twapurnvata. Although the inhabitants of Rajbhumi, the cowherd men and cowherd women, previously had more affection for Krishna than for their own children, now for 1 year their affection for their own sons continuously increased, for Krishna had now become their sons. There was no limit to the increment of their affection for their sons, who were now Krishna. Every day they found new inspiration for loving their children as much as they loved Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Itthamatmanam vatsapalamishen se palayan vatsapo varsha chikridevan gosteo. In this way, Lord Shri Krishna, having himself become the cowherd boys and groups of calves, maintained himself by himself. Thus, he continued his pastimes both in Vrindavan and in the forest for 1 year. Everything was Krishna. The calves, the cowherd boys, and their maintainer himself were all Krishna. In other words, Krishna expanded himself in varieties of calves and cowherd boys and continued his pastimes uninterrupted for 1 year. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's expansion is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. Similarly, instead of expanding himself as the super soul, he expanded himself as a portion of calves and cowherd boys for 1 continuous year. Yeah. So it was like almost a year when Lord Brahma took away all the calves and the boys, right? The cowherd boys. And then after that, Krishna takes their form and it goes on for almost a year. Ajay?
Ekadacharyan Vatsan Saramo Van Mavishat Panch Shasu Triyamasu Hayana Puran Shri Vajah. One day, 5 or 6 nights before the completion of the year, Krishna, tending the calves, entered the forest along with Balrama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
Tato vidur ucharato gao vatsanu pavrajama govardhanadri shirashi charantyo dadrushustrunam. Thereafter, while pasturing atop Govardhan Hill, the cows looked down to find some green grass and saw their cows pasturing near Vrindavan, not very far away. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prem?
Drishtvat tat snehvasho smritam ma sa govrajo tyatmat padurg marga Dvipak Kudgriv Udas Pucho Gadhud Kriteras Punya Javain. When the cows saw their own calves from the top of Godhan Hill, they forgot themselves and their caretakers because of increased affection, and although the path was very rough, they ran towards their calves with great anxiety, each running as if with one pair of legs, their milk bags full and flowing with milk, their heads and tails raised, and their humps moving with their necks. They ran forcefully until they reached their calves to feed them. Hare Krishna.
Amittigau adhuvatsan vatsavadyo apyapayan gilantaiva changani lihante sudasampaya. The cows had given birth to new calves, but while coming down from the Godhan hill, the cows, because of increased affection for the older calves, allowed the older cows to drink milk from their milk bags and then began licking the cow's body in anxiety as if wanting to swallow them. Ajay?
गोपास्तदूधनाय समोध्यलज्जो मन्युना दुर्गात्वकृच्छ्रितो भेते ये गोवत्सय दिश सुतान. The cowherd men, having been unable to check the cows from going to their calves, felt simultaneously ashamed and angry. They crossed the rough road with great difficulty, but when they came down and saw their own sons, they were overwhelmed by great affection. Hare Krishna.
तदिक्षणोत् प्रेम साप्लुताशया जातानुरागा गतमन्यवोर् उदूय दौर्भ्य परिरभ्य मूर्धनि घ्राणेरवापुः परमां मुदन्ते. At that time, all the thoughts of the cowherd's men merged in the mellow of paternal love, which was aroused by the sight of their sons. Experiencing a great attraction, their anger completely disappearing, they lifted their sons, embraced them in their arms, and enjoyed the highest pleasure by smelling their sons' heads. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Tat Prevaso Gopasto Kaksh Lesh Sunivita Krichach Ner Pagatas Danus Mrityu Tarshrava. Thereafter, the elderly cowherd men, having obtained great feeling from embracing their sons, gradually, with great difficulty and reluctance, ceased embracing them and returned to the forest. But as the men remembered their sons, tears began to roll down from their eyes. Hare Krishna.
Yasya Ramah Premadha Vikshota Kante Manukshanam Mukta Istaneshva Patteshva Vapya Hetu Vidachintayate. Because of an increase of affection, the cows had constant attachment even to those calves that were grown up and had stopped sucking milk from their mothers. When Baldev saw this attachment, he was unable to understand the reason for it, and thus he began to consider as follows. I just read this. Ajay?
The cows had younger calves who had started sucking milk from their mothers, and some of the cows had newly given birth, but now, because of love, the cows enthusiastically showed their affection for their older calves, which had left off milking. These cows were grown up, but still the mother wanted to feed them. Therefore, Balram was a little surprised and he wanted to inquire from Krishna about the reason for their behavior. The mother were actually more anxious to feed their older calves, although the new calves were present, because the older calves were expansion of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Nisha?
These surprising events were taking place by the manipulation of Yoga Maya. There are two Mayas working under the direction of Krishna. Mahamaya, the energy of material world, and Yoga Maya, the energy of spiritual world. These uncommon events were taking place because of influence of Yoga Maya. From the very day on which Brahmā stole the calves and boys, Yoga Maya acted in such a way that the residents of Vrindavan, including even Lord Balaram, could not understand how Yoga Maya was working and causing such uncommon things to happen. But as Yoga Maya gradually acted, Balaram in particular was able to understand what was happening, and therefore he inquired from Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Balram was surprised, and so he's asking Lord Shri Krishna, like, what's going on? Yeah, Prem?
Imatva du Vasudev Khilantmani Vrajasya Satman Stakto Kevash Pur Prema Vardhate. What is this wonderful phenomenon? The affection of all the inhabitants of Braj, including me, towards these boys and calves is increasing as never before, just like our affection for Lord Krishna, the super soul of all living entities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Lord Balaram himself is asking Lord Shri Krishna, how come the affection of everyone is increasing so much towards those calves and cows? So we are going to pause here. Yeah, we'll continue to read how then Lord Brahma, yeah, is recognized. Lord Krishna, of course, knows that Lord Brahma had taken away the calves and cowherd boys, and then how he expands himself, and then what happens next is what we are going to read on Monday. Yeah. Is this Monday long weekend or the next Monday?
This
It's
one.
Monday.
I think this
This
is
Monday is a long weekend. Oh. What do you want to do? All in town?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we can touch base. Otherwise, right now, it's Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everyone. I think a lot of people are celebrating today, and then a lot of people are celebrating tomorrow, right? The whole Ganesh Utsav. So we are going to hear nice Ganesh Vandana right now. Yeah.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गज गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि सर्वराजाय गन्धाय सर्वगानश्रवणप्रणयिने गाढानुरागाय ग्रन्थाय गीताय ग्रन्थार्थतत्त्वविदे गुणवते गणपतये ग्रन्थगीताय ग्रन्थगेयाय ग्रन्थान्तरात्मने गीतलीनाय गीताश्रयाय गीतवाद्यपटवे गेयचरिताय गायकवराय गन्धर्वप्रियकृते गायकाधीनविग्रहाय गङ्गाजलप्रणयवते गौरीस्तनन्दनाय गौरीहृदयनन्दनाय गौरभानुसुताय गौरीगणेश्वराय गौरीप्रणयाय गौरीप्रवणाय गौरभावाय धीमहि गोसहस्राय गोवर्धनाय गोपगोपाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय
Satsang.
चन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
रिद्धि सिद्धि गणपति ज्ञान महाराज की.
Jai.
Jai.
All right, so happy Ganesh Chaturthi. I think this whole week is celebration of Lord Ganesh, right? Different events, I think at different places. And then let me know if no one is here on Monday, but otherwise this should meet on Monday. Yeah, it's long weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.